everyone, it's Monica. Welcome to my TOEFL listening. Before today's class, I would like to help you understand what is to be expected on the listening section of the TOEFL exam. On a normal listening section, you listen to a total of 5 passages in this order. You will begin by listening to a conversation between 2 people. The conversation will be about 3 minutes long, followed by 5 questions. Then you'll listen to a lecture. When the lecture finishes, after about 3 to 5 minutes, you'll listen to 6 questions. And then another lecture follows, and then followed by another conversation, and then another lecture. So there'll be a total of 5 passages that consist of 2 conversations and 3 lectures. Conversations are always around 3 minutes long, and the lectures will always be about 3 to 5 minutes long. Conversations are always followed by 5 questions, and then lectures are always followed by 6. TOEFL also has something called experimental passages. Simply put, you'll either get a longer reading section or a longer listening section. So if your experimental section appears in the listening part of the test, then you will get 2 more passages. So instead of 5, you'll end up doing 7 passages in total. Although the 2 extra passages won't count toward your score, you should still try your best because you don't know which 2 won't be counted. Now here are 4 very important reminders or warnings. Number 1, you can only listen to each passage once. Each passage in the listening section will only be played once, from beginning till the end, with no pause or rewind or repeat options. This really tests your listening comprehension skills as well as your note-taking skills. Number 2, you cannot see the questions beforehand. Now this might come as a surprise to you because there are other standardized tests that allow you to look at the questions either before or even while you're listening to the listening passage. And on the reading section of the TOEFL exam, you can look at all the questions, but that is not the case in the listening section of the test. So you won't be able to look at the questions in order to look for keywords and then prepare your ear to listen for the answers. Instead, we'll have to train ourselves to predict the kind of questions that will appear in the listening section. And I will help you do that during class. Number 3, you cannot return to the previous question. Now this almost always comes as a surprise for almost all of my students. What this means is on the TOEFL IBT, after each listening passage, the questions will appear one at a time on the screen. And once you have submitted an answer, you won't be able to return to the previous question to change your answer, which also means you cannot skip a question hoping to go back later. So that means never skipping an answer. Always try your best on each question, and then when you practice at home, do them in the order that they appear. If you're unsure about an answer, you still have to make an educated guess and then go on to the next question. Because again, you won't be able to return to any question once you have clicked next. And last but not least, number 4, you have roughly 35 seconds to complete each question. The total listening time for a normal listening section is 41 minutes, 57 if you include the experimental passages. If we take away the time it takes to listen to the audio tracks and the instructions, then we're left with about 16.5 minutes to answer the 28 questions. So that means you get about 35 seconds on average per question. However, since you're given the total amount of time left to answer the questions on the clock, you can control the time you want to take and your pace on each question. So that means on an easier question, you can spend less than 35 seconds, and then on a harder question, you can spend more than 35 seconds. Just make sure that you leave about 3 to 4 minutes to answer the questions for each passage. A countdown timer will be shown on the upper right-hand corner of your computer screen that displays the total amount of time you have left to answer all the questions on the listening section of the TOEFL exam. Now, in today's class, you'll get a chance to try real TOEFL listening passages in a timed quiz so that you'll get a sense of what to expect on the day of the test. Okay, I'll see you in class. Bye-bye.